let's take up one more question on sentence correction here. I'll give you a second to quickly kind of go over this and see what answer would you pick for it. Doesn't test you on much of grammar, to be honest. It's more to do with meaning. So see what option makes the most sense to you over here. Now, if you look at this question, right, in this question, what's really important to understand is that the context and meaning, which a lot of people end up ignoring, is one of the most important things to focus on in sentence correction these days. In my recent discussions with people who have gone on to score a 97th percentile, which is around 43, I have noticed that every single person had the same feedback, that you can two or three options based on grammar, but the last two answer choices are both going to be grammatically correct. So your job is to be able to understand contextually which one makes the most sense, right? Meaning wise, which one is the more logical out of the two. So it's really important to pay attention to meaning and context. I'll try to help you understand what I mean by meaning or context in this example. So when you say one legacy of Madison Avenue's recent campaign to appeal to people 50 years old and over is the realization that as a person ages, his or her concerns change as well. Now, as you scan the options, you can see there's obviously a difference between realization and to realize and realizing. All that is fine. But if you notice the meaning related difference here, it is stemming here. So as a person ages, when, and as. And I'm sure that you understand this obvious point that when is used for a particular moment in time. When you say, let's say, give me a call when you reach the market, you basically mean that the moment you reach the market, the moment you step inside the market, you give me a call. So when is used to basically define a particular moment in time when a certain action needs to be done. On the other hand, as is used when something happens gradually over a period of time. Now focus on the context. We're talking about a person aging. So if a person is aging, that can't happen in a moment, right? That would obviously take some time. So using when person age or when people age, that is completely wrong. So when a person ages, when people age, contextually doesn't make any sense because it's not something that happens in a particular moment. So A and E are the ones you can quickly get down to. A and E are the ones that you can quickly get down to because B, C, and D are contextually incorrect. Now between A and E, let's understand what are the differences that we have over here. So first of all, both of them use as, that is fine. Now between person and people, there is no preference. It's not that we have to use people or we have to use person. It basically boils down to the pronoun that's used. And you'll find that the pronoun is actually correct in both the cases. Person can be either a male or a female, right? So using a masculine pronoun and a feminine pronoun is important here because person could be either. And similarly for people, the right pronoun to use is there. So pronoun wise, there is absolutely nothing wrong with either of the two statements here. The only difference that actually is worth focusing on is between realization and realizing. Now, on the GMAT, there are about 17 to 18 preferences that you need to memorize. Absolute phrases, abstract nouns, subjunctive constructions, you have appositives, verb is preferred over noun, standard noun form is preferred over a gerund. There are multiple such preferences that you need to memorize in order to be able to answer questions not only quickly but also correctly. In some cases, you might find that two options might be both grammatically correct, as is the case in this one. You find that both the options are actually conveying the same meaning as well. Some of you might be surprised to know that the word realizing here is actually not a verb. It's actually serving as a noun. And there is a proper classification of such nouns that end with ing. They're called gerunds in grammar. So if you're ever given an option to choose between a standard noun form, which typically, not always, ends with tion, this is a standard noun form, and you're given an option to choose between a standard noun form and a gerund form, if both the options are grammatically correct and they're conveying the same meaning, you would choose a standard noun form over a gerund form. And in this question, that is the reason why option A would come out to be the right answer and not E. That's the only difference. Apart from that, both are grammatically correct and both are basically conveying the same meaning as well, right? So the answer for this would come out to be option A.